Happy days. Yeah, it's midnight on the Sports Bar with me, Max Scott, alongside Rory Jennings. And thankfully, we've got the Thomas Tuchel press conference ready for you. He's been speaking to the press all about that huge incident that was made a massive deal out of after the game against Norway. A reminder, it's less than 24 hours to go till England face Argentina in this historic World Cup semi-final. And our England correspondent, Faye Carruthers, has been speaking to Tommy T ahead of the game.
Thomas, your first World Cup semi-final. How are you feeling? Excited? Nervous?
Yeah, both of it. Excited, very excited. And I feel the excitement in the group as well, which is a good side. I feel that we arrive very hungry for this semi-final. There was no moment that we breathe out or that we over-relaxed. It's nice to see the group is hungry and excited. Me as well. And we will be a bit nervous tomorrow. I think that's normal. It just shows that we mean it. And occasion is a big occasion.
It is. It's very exciting for everyone. Before I ask you a little bit more on Argentina, I just want to wrap up what happened after the Norway game and how things have moved on since then. It seems to have been blown up quite a lot, your post-match comments and Jude's. Just wondered whether you've had to speak as a group.
I wonder who blows these things up. Huh? No. So there is nothing to blow up, and if it's blown up in the media, of course. Like what you expect of a player that just played 120 minutes and gave literally everything. If you shorten the comment of his coach, if you don't tell him that he was world class, if you don't tell him that he has world class actions, if you just cut all this and tell him, oh, your coach said you were sloppy, what do you expect? Of course you get the comment that you get, and then you try to blow it up and try to create and then people try to create misunderstandings and cracks where no cracks are. We come from the same place. We come from being competitive, and I'm a competitive coach. I push this team to the limit, and that was my assessment. And like I said, I think the question was unfair in this moment of time towards Jude, because he cut all the compliments out of my assessment and just asked about the critical points. So I can understand what you expect of a player that just gave everything and stands there in front of a microphone in a flash interview. It's just what it is, but we're close as ever. And closed more than ever before. So you can see that on the field. Energy and mentality in camp is excellent through the last days, and we're ready to go for it tomorrow.
World champions tomorrow, what kind of statement would it be to beat them and get to the final?
A big one. We need a big statement tomorrow, of course. Otherwise, you cannot beat the reigning champions with Lionel Messi. It's a big ask, but we are ready for it. I feel the excitement, like I said. I feel the hunger. No one is satisfied yet. That's a good mix. So we feel prepared, and we will put the players on the starting line and let them go.
How are they all? Everybody fit to play, bar Jordan Henderson?
Yeah, Jordan is of course not available, and Cheryl Kwanzaa is suspended still. Everyone else is fit and ready to go.
That's really good to hear. And what do you think? I know it's not, I've just said this to John Stones, I know it's not England versus Lionel Messi, but how do you stop a player like Lionel Messi?
Well, a lot of people have tried, no? Throughout the last decades, and not a lot have succeeded. Well, you stop the supply to him, you stop passing options for him, and still he's a magician. He finds his ways, he finds gaps, he sees things just seconds earlier than anyone else. I have the feeling it's a different kind of vision going on. He is one of the all-time greats in this game, and he proves it game after game after game in this tournament, which is highly impressive. But we are here to beat him and to beat his team, so it's a big ask, but we're up for it.
My final question, did you watch much of the Spain-France game? And I know that you're going to say we've got to beat Argentina first of all, but obviously Spain await in the final.
Spain awaits. Spain is in the final. Congratulations, big win, big performance. I just saw the first half because then we were in the plane and travelled here. First half was very impressive, very dominant. It's what Spain does. the more the tension grows, the calmer they play. The more the tension, they just have this natural self-confidence in what they're doing through all the ages. They play with so much confidence, and that shows on the biggest stages. Very impressive, and big win, and congratulations. We want to be there as well, but like you said, we have to take a step before.
Thomas Tuchel speaking to England's talkSPORT's England correspondent Faye Carruthers there. So much to get into, Rory, but we've got to start with the big story. I thought Thomas Tuchel's response to the media storm surrounding those post-match interviews is absolutely pitch perfect, and he's demonstrating that maybe where in previous tournaments media chat would infiltrate the camp, Thomas Tuchel's got the strength of character to make sure that it's completely nipped in the bud. What did he say? I wonder who blows these things up. There's nothing to blow up. What do you expect of a player who gave everything for 120 minutes and you don't tell him the whole story? People try to create cracks where no cracks are. He's absolutely batting it back, saying there's no issues here. The mentality is the best he's ever seen. They're more ready than they've ever been. I think absolutely bang on from Tuchel.
Yeah, I think it's exactly what we said earlier in the show. Before he clarified it, we said that nobody had done anything wrong. We said that Jude Bellingham, in his emotional state, I actually think that the whole thing is all quite unedifying. You don't need to be sticking a microphone under someone's nose and a camera in their face the second that the referee blows a full-time whistle. They're not in the brain space. No. They're not in the right frame of mind to take on those questions, to take on the impact of the words that they say. The entire nation is listening to it, and if they play one wrong false move, we drill down into it.
Particularly when you're only given the negatives.
Exactly. And then it was the cherry picking. It was the cherry picking of, like Thomas Tuchel said a lot. Gabriel Clark and Thomas Tuchel had a fairly detailed conversation. Gabriel Clark decided to present to Jude Bellingham the part of the conversation, cherry picked the perfect point to try and get a story.
If you don't tell him he's world class and tell him he's sloppy, of course you're going to
get annoyed.
You're not going to like those comments after pouring your heart out for 120.
Jude Bellingham did nothing wrong.
No,
he reacted correctly to the information he was given.
Yeah,
Thomas Tuchel did nothing wrong. He said an awful lot, and the performance against Norway wasn't good enough. So he didn't do anything wrong.
And he hasn't put a foot wrong in his response to Faye there, because he's created an us versus them mentality. It's us against the world, boys. We're doing it for the nation, and nothing is getting through this brotherhood, which he's been banging on about since the start.
Yeah, I completely agree again. And then the only thing that we now need to dissect, I guess, is did Gabriel Clark do anything wrong? In my opinion, yes. I think you could also, though, make the case and say that Gabriel Clark's responsibility is to create noise, create a story. His job, effectively, is to find something newsworthy within. And if that is the objective, it doesn't really chime with the way I see the responsibility of a journalist. But if it is the responsibility, then I guess he succeeded as well.
Yeah, well, look, what I love about this is Tuchel has put that story to bed now. He's put it to bed. And for me, everything about that, not only talking about that media storm, but talking about the mentality and the energy of the squad, talking about the preparations for Argentina, all of it, the energy was absolutely spot on and exactly what I want to hear as an England fan. Fair play, Thomas Tuchel. You're listening to the World Cup Game Day Sports Bar on talkSPORT, brought to you by Burger King Buddies. Total tournament satisfaction delivered by the experts. Order now on the BK app. You're listening to the Sports Bar on talkSPORT.